Hey Libras, and welcome to your October 2016 General Tarot Forecast. Happy birthday to all the Libras out there. It's your time of the year, and the sun is in your sign, so you guys are in your element right now. I have my spread that I drew for the Libras in front of me right now, but before I start the interpretation, if you guys would like to check out the link in the description box to my shop and go over and check that out, that'd make me really happy if you guys got a chance to jump over there and see the packages that I'm offering. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the general energies coming forward for Libras for the month of October 2016. Okay, so, it's kind of I don't want to say like darker, energetic theme for your month of October. It's not so much a bad thing, but you guys are definitely sort of crossing over to the dark side in, how else can I put it? So you've got two major arcana cards. You've got the Moon and the World. And the Moon is right there, upright in the center of your spread. And the World is upright as well, sort of in the top left, more peripheral part of your spread. And what does that say to me? First of all, I think that, just as a random fact, what I'm feeling right now is that a lot of Libras are a little bit nocturnal right now. You might be having a little bit of insomnia. You might be really enjoying the nightlife. I see a lot of celebrations taking place at nighttime for the Libras. This could be birthday celebrations. You also have a lot of energy at nighttime because you've got that Page of Wands right by the Moon. And you're very popular at nighttime, it seems like, and you can interpret that in whatever way you like. Because you've also got the World, and it's sort of like that woman in the reef, and all eyes are on her. She's completion. She's the end of a cycle. She's also the transition to a new cycle. So I think that, okay, what's really strong for me is that, because you guys, this reading's a little bit, it's got some of the harder energies. You've got these swords here, you've got the Moon. I think that a lot of Libras are coming into their birthday month and celebrating their birthdays. And regardless of how positive it all is, regardless of the gifts, regardless of the positive thoughts or communication that you have with the other people in your life, a lot of Libras are hyper-analyzing how far they've come in life. Whatever age you're turning Libra, it could be 20, it could be 70, older, younger, whatever. This birthday's really hitting you from a standpoint of okay, I've come this far in life, and what do I have to show for it? Because you've got the reversed Nine of Swords and the reversed Seven of Swords. Both of those are pretty tough cards. They're kind of, I personally like them more in the reverse than in the upright, because it at least denotes that you realize it. You're not just in a kind of you're aware. You're not unaware of some of these more difficult energies in your life right now. And, the Nine of Swords is all about, hyper-analyzing insomnia, the inability to cope with something, being paranoid about something. So when it falls into the reverse, it at least it at least says to me that you want to break this habit, that you realize what you're doing, you realize that this paranoia or fear that you have of a situation, or regret or guilt that you feel over something, you realize that it's not something that you need to do, although it's kind of hard to stop. It's easier said than done to just not think those things. And likewise for that reverse Seven of Swords, it's kind of to me, that card denotes being taken advantage of. Some Libras might feel taken advantage of, and this might be sort of adding to that feeling of how far I've come. How many people have I let take advantage of me, and how has that impacted my ability to sort of go on my own spiritual path, or my own just life path? The sort of symbiotic relationship I've had with other people, how has that kind of drained my life source? How has that kind of stopped me from getting where I thought that I would be? Because I definitely think There's at the foundation of this reading, you have that reversed Knight of Cups, and that says to me that at the foundation of all of this inner struggle you might be having going into October, there's somebody, a relationship from your past, who you may still have a relationship with, who was emotionally manipulative towards you, who did not express their emotions clearly and used the hidden sort of emotional realm to their own advantage. And it's like you gave them the option to be forthcoming with you. You wanted that honesty and transparency, but they chose to keep things hidden. And, you know, when these things finally came to the surface, it completely threw a wrench into your life. You felt taken advantage of. Going forward into the future, you were paranoid because you didn't know if it was still happening, regardless of in reality whether this sort of emotional manipulation was happening or not. You were scared that it was, and you took that into other relationships. It became very difficult to establish a balance between transparency and sort of fogging the mirror, if you will, for your own emotions in your relationships with other people. Basically what I'm saying is this relationship with this person who took emotional advantage of you kind of, how do I want to put it, skewed your own sort of perception of others' emotions and how to communicate your own to other people. And, you know, through some of those difficulties, you really had a lot of far-reaching changes go on around you physically and internally. And that was difficult for you because Libra struggles enough as it is to establish a balance in their life, to have that sense of consistency. But there's something really good coming forward, Libra. That Page of Wands is probably, arguably for me, like the best card in your reading, given its position. It says to me that you guys have what it takes to adapt to your situation. You may feel that this situation that you're in right now, this sort of emotional clutter and this emotional difficulty or manipulation or just anxiety or paranoia that you're having in your relationships, you can adapt. You can find a middle ground, and you can go inside, because Libra has one of the best abilities to analyze and make conclusions over data, over what they've learned, over other people's actions. You know, you might not be able to admit it to yourself, Libra, but you guys have an amazing ability to make a clear, rational, correct judgment. And there's like this fear right now that you're you don't know if people are being honest with you. You don't know if people are taking advantage of you. Yes, you do, Libra. You know that. You know this. You don't have to tell yourself that you don't know. You've been through this before. You've seen this happen before, and now you know what to look for. Now you know what actions accompany this. Go within yourself and analyze and see the actions of other people. And don't make excuses. Don't say, oh, it's just a coincidence. Don't say, this is just me being over-analytical. You've been through this before. If it's happening to you again, it is very unlikely that it's a coincidence. You have what it takes. You have the adaptability. You have the quickness, sort of mental agility to realize it when it's happening. And you don't have to stand up to it. All you have to do is go within, realize, and likewise, you know, realize if it's not. Like, if you see some of these signs happening, like you have, just like you have that ability to automatically recognize when it's happening, you also have the ability to automatically recognize when it's not. So, yeah, that got kind of heavy there, but I'm definitely feeling like you know what's right, Libras, because the sun is coming into your sign, so you're going to have a lot of illumination too. Like, that's another big factor. Like, when the sun is in Libra, the Libras gain that power. They really, like, this is your time of the year where you have the ability to let the scales come into balance, where you have the ability to make correct or draw correct conclusions from, just all of the aspects of your life. Okay, so another message that I'm getting is that maybe some Libras have been in a situation where they didn't have much choice but to be emotionally manipulative, or they took advantage of someone else. And maybe you didn't realize it when it was happening, or maybe you did it, like, I don't know, in the name of love, or you had some kind of reasoning to do it. I mean, I'm not passing a judgment for having done it, but that's definitely coming forward. Some Libras have been, a small percentage of Libras have been taking advantage of others and have been emotionally manipulating others. And it's not that you won't even get away with it. Like, you can. You've got the sun in your sign. This is your most powerful time of the year. You can get away with it. But sort of the downside is you're skewing your own emotional perception. Okay, I'm really feeling strongly about this. I just want some of the lower evolved Libras out there, and I think that most of my audience are higher evolved Libras, but for whoever this might apply to, when you make the choice to be emotionally manipulative, when you make the choice to work behind the scenes, you are nearly permanently skewing your ability to trust anyone in your life moving forward. Every relationship that you have will come with a fear that someone is doing what you're doing right now to you. People's actions of kindness, people's actions of love will always be hyper-analyzed by you and hyper-interpreted. And you will never again be able to accept acts of kindness or accept actions of love for what they are, because if you're trying to take emotional advantage of someone right now, you might be doing that through acts of kindness or acts of love with sort of a different motivation, So moving forward in life, you will never be able to accept acts of kindness and accept acts of love without being extremely paranoid or without an extreme anxiety that someone is trying to take advantage of you or trying to manipulate you because that's what you did in the past. And that's sort of the deal that you make with the devil, if you will, when you choose to embark on, a journey of revenge, a journey of manipulation, a journey of subterfuge. You basically sign away your own happiness. And if that's a price that some of the lower evolved Libras out there are willing to pay, then you may get this short-term goal that you've desired, and you may be happy for about 5 minutes. Okay, so that's kind of heavy. That I kind of got like kind of Saturnian there for a second, kind of like authoritarian, or I don't want to say authoritarian, but I don't think that applies to many of the viewers out there. I just wanted to say that. I think that it's a good, even if you're not in that phase right now, even if you don't feel like you have people around you, it's kind of a nice philosophy, or that I've come to, about emotional manipulative tactics and how that affects you. So, take it for what it is. Most Libras already realize this, though. And, would only use... Because Libra is one of the signs that has the ability to be manipulative. Most Libras would only use that defensively and not in a shallow or greedy way. And that's also a side note I would like to make. It's one thing if it's your only option left, or if someone is attacking you or trying to be a villain towards you, and you can't just walk away. It's one thing to do these things as your only defense. But the problem comes when there are other alternatives, or you could just walk away, but you choose to be emotionally vindictive or manipulative, just kind of to get that short-term fulfillment. That's what I'm talking about, and that's what is not going to be a service to the Libras in the month of October, or to anyone ever, really, honestly. But moving through October, I really think that the Libras are going to have a good month. There are some of these heavier energies, but something that will at least boost Libra's confidence. You're going to be very attractive in the month of October. The Page of Wands and the Moon together suggests that not only do you have a natural beauty and a natural glow about you from the Page of Wands, but people are going to see you like the moon. Like, if there's like an old broken down house or that's completely unsturdy, is not, I don't know if I want to use the word attractive during the daylight, but when the moon comes out at nighttime and shines on it, it looks really beautiful. That's the energy that your appearance might be having right now. I'm not saying that you guys look bad, but the fact that you've got like this Page of Wands, which is natural attraction, natural beauty, plus the moon coming in and sort of giving you like that. Basically, the Libras are going to have really good lighting for the month of October, which is really great and good news for you guys. So you're going to look very appealing and mysterious, and a lot of people are going to be very attracted to you in October, so that's definitely a silver lining throughout some of these more difficult energies. Also, if you are hurting about anything, it's not going to be very obvious to other people. So that's definitely not going to mess up your relationships. But if you have people that are really close to you that don't know what's going on, that don't understand some of these more emotionally heavy things going on with you, it might be good to just have a moment with them and explain to them what's going on, because they're not going to know it unless you tell them, because you're very stoic right now as well. And I also see a lot of gifts, that Seven of Swords. It's almost like so many gifts that you can't carry them. That's possible for your birthday month, and I think that a lot of people will come forward with some really nice sentiments for you, Libra, that you really are the world to them, that maybe some people that you thought like you were having a difficult relationship with may come forward and apologize, or just give you a nice little note or reminder that you are important to them and you do matter very much to them. So anyway, October is going to be a bittersweet month for Libras. Lots of really good, a little bit of difficult, but you guys are going to get past it, and I'll be excited to see some November readings for Libras. And if you guys want to check out my shop, you can check the description box below and jump over there. Also, if you guys have any other opinions on the cards or the spread or how it worked out, or as you go through October, and if any of this kind of turns out for you, I'd love to hear in the comment section below how it resonated. So anyway, have a great October, Libras.